Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, since we're rapidly drawing nigh on 200, is going to be a veritable blast from the past. This is one that the producer Rob has been asking for pretty much since Game Geeks 1, all the way back in the community television days. And since that's been pushing on 8 years now, I figure I more than owe him this review. So here we go. What we have is a series of linked products that probably span almost 30 years of gaming in my hand here in one form or another. These are the Fantasy Trip system, which is Melee Wizards. Into the Labyrinth, Advanced Wizard, Advanced Melee, all the way up to and including Legends of the Ancient World, Legends of Time and Space, and Legends of the Untamed West. Sort of different applications and genres for the same very simple engine. A lot of this is currently being supported and produced by Dark City Games. Folks, this is a very old school, slimmed down, streamlined, extraordinarily basic system. And for those of you who have very good eyes or who have read our Designers and Dragons review, which is a couple ago, if you haven't, go back and watch that. If you don't have the book yet, please procure it. It's that freaking good. You'll notice that some of this was originally designed by none other than Steve Jackson, who's gone on to do a couple of small things in role-playing himself. So what do we have here? In its easiest form, in its most simple, stripped-back essence, this is a game where you have a character who has strength and dexterity, who then has a couple of combat skills, maybe a magic skill that wades into combat and fights things. The combat is essentially based on a map that is predetermined by your GM. It is a hex grid, and you move around your little piece that you have information about that could very easily fit onto a post-it note. There are real advantages and a certain amount of nostalgia to characters this simple, where you don't need 5 or 6 pages of explanation of what every feat, every edge, every skill does. As this became a little bit more advanced, they added another characteristic to it, strength, dex, and finally IQ, which is your intelligence. In some of these systems, especially in the Legends of the Ancient Worlds and those more recent add-ons, you have 8 points in each, you get 32 to spread over the entire thing, and from there, hilarity can ensue. There are combats. The dice mechanic is 3d6, and then you want to roll at or under your characteristic plus whatever the skill level is in that particular characteristic. And if that sounds very simple and straightforward and not what you're used to, I recommend you A, add on about 15 years because you'll remember stuff like this, and B, it is that simple, it is that straightforward, and it is that streamlined. As I mentioned earlier, this is very much combat focused, so you're not going to get into a whole lot of diplomacy, a whole lot of trying to manipulate the vampire prince of the city into doing what you want by paying off your debts and prestation. This is very straightforward. There's not a whole lot of other fluff you can add to it. There are some adventures that go along with these, most recently in the form of the Island of Lost Spell, which is and I'll break it out here so you can see it. It's an adventure in which you go onto this island and you look for stuff, kill monsters, and do your best to separate their treasure from them. So you have a map which you maneuver around. It gives you ideas about what's where and the different encounters that you can run into. Normally I look at this and go, wow, that's really old school. Until very recently, for the NEs, I haven't shot the review yet, but it's coming, I received a book called Carcosa, and a supplement for it, which is also similar to this. It's another island adventure, where essentially most of the game is a hex map that you walk around and interact with things. So, in case you're thinking, wow, that's old and that's dated, everything old is new again, ladies and gentlemen, and things come around. So, Fantasy Trip into and including Melee and up through the Legends of the Ancient World adventures. If you're interested in the nostalgia factor, if you've been around a while, you've been doing this for a long time, if you're interested in seeing where role-playing came from, a lot of this is currently being supported and produced by Dark City Games, the website you can see listed underneath my face here. So you can go there and take a look at what they're doing. If you're old, like me, if you remember the origins of this hobby, this is a great place for you to go and at least, wow, this is where we came from, and this is kind of where we're going now. Rob, this one's been for you. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.